Imagine arriving on a distant island after years at sea. You expect to hear voices. You expect children running between houses. You expect smoke rising from chimneys and the sounds of a thriving settlement. Instead, you find silence. Not the peaceful silence of a sleeping village, but a silence so complete that it feels as though every living soul has vanished from the face of the earth. This is the story of the Lost Colony of Roanoke. One of the greatest mysteries in American history. A mystery that has survived for more than 4 centuries. A mystery that continues to inspire historians, archaeologists, treasure hunters, conspiracy theorists, and storytellers around the world. More than 100 men, women, and children disappeared without leaving behind a single confirmed trace. No bodies. No graves. No signs of battle. No evidence of disease. Nothing. Only a single word carved into wood. Croatoan. For over 400 years, people have tried to answer one simple question. What happened to the settlers of Roanoke? Did they starve? Were they killed? Did they abandon their colony and join Native American tribes? Or did something far stranger occur? To understand the mystery, we must travel back to the 16th century. Europe was changing rapidly. Powerful kingdoms competed for wealth, territory, and influence. Spain had become one of the richest empires in the world after discovering vast lands across the Atlantic Ocean. Gold, silver, and resources flowed back to Europe. England watched with envy. The English crown wanted its own colonies, its own opportunities, its own place in the New World. One man became obsessed with making that dream a reality. Sir Walter Raleigh. Raleigh believed England could establish permanent settlements in North America. These settlements would strengthen England's power and challenge Spanish dominance. In 1584, Raleigh sponsored expeditions to explore the eastern coast of what would later become the United States. Explorers returned with exciting reports. They described fertile land, abundant forests, rich fishing grounds, and opportunities for expansion. One location appeared especially promising: Roanoke Island. Today it lies along the coast of what is now North Carolina. At the time, it seemed like the perfect location for England's first permanent colony in America. But the land was far from empty. For thousands of years, Native American communities had lived throughout the region. They possessed their own cultures, traditions, alliances, and territories. The arrival of English settlers would dramatically change their world. The first attempts to establish a colony faced enormous challenges. Supplies ran low. Relations with local tribes became complicated. Harsh conditions tested the settlers' ability to survive. Yet despite these difficulties, England remained determined. In 1587, a new group of settlers arrived. Unlike previous expeditions, this group included entire families. Men, women, children. They were not merely explorers. They intended to build a permanent home. Among them was a young girl named Virginia Dare. She would become famous for a remarkable reason. Virginia Dare was the first English child born in the New World. Her birth symbolized hope. A new beginning. A future for England in America. The settlers worked hard to establish their community. They built homes, gathered supplies, and attempted to adapt to unfamiliar surroundings. Yet beneath the surface, danger was growing. Food shortages threatened survival. Communication with England was difficult. Tensions with some native groups created uncertainty. The colony needed help. The settlers depended heavily on supplies from England. Without regular support, survival would become increasingly difficult. The colony's governor, John White, faced an impossible decision. He would return to England to gather supplies and bring back reinforcements. The settlers begged him to hurry. No one knew it at the time. But his departure would mark the beginning of one of history's greatest mysteries. As White's ship disappeared over the horizon, the settlers waited. Days became weeks. Weeks became months. Months became years. Then Europe intervened. England found itself threatened by the mighty Spanish Armada. Every available ship was needed for national defense. White's return was delayed again and again. Meanwhile, across the ocean, the settlers of Roanoke were left alone. Completely alone. No supplies. No communication. No rescue. No one knows exactly what happened during those years. The historical record falls silent. The colony vanishes into darkness. Then, in 1590, John White finally returned. He expected hardship. He expected desperate survivors. Perhaps even graves. What he discovered was something far more unsettling. The colony was empty. Every house abandoned. Every settler gone. The village showed signs of deliberate departure. Buildings had been dismantled. Possessions were missing. There were no signs of struggle. No evidence of panic. No indication of violence. It was as if the entire community had calmly stood up one day and walked away. But where? And why? White searched desperately for clues. Eventually, he found one. A word carved into a wooden post. Croatoan. Nearby, the letters CRO had been carved into a tree. This was the only message left behind. The only clue. The only thread connecting modern investigators to the fate of more than 100 missing people. White believed the settlers may have moved to Croatoan Island, home to a Native American tribe friendly to the English. But before he could investigate further, storms forced his ships away. He never found the settlers. He never discovered their fate. And he never solved the mystery. For centuries later, neither have we. What happened after John White sailed away? Did the settlers integrate into native communities? Did disease destroy the colony? Were they victims of conflict? Or did they disappear into the vast wilderness of the New World? The answers remain hidden somewhere in history. Buried beneath layers of time. Waiting to be discovered. And as we continue this journey, we will follow every clue. Examine every theory. And uncover every piece of evidence that might finally reveal the truth behind America's greatest unsolved mystery. Because somewhere between the forests, the coastline, and the shadows of the past lies the answer to a question that has haunted history for more than 400 years. What really happened to the lost colony of Roanoke? Just when investigators thought they understood the mystery, archaeologists uncovered evidence suggesting the settlers may not have vanished at all. What they found could completely rewrite American history. If you enjoy historical mysteries, forgotten legends, and untold stories, subscribe to Untold American Folklore and join us as we uncover the secrets hidden within the lost colony of Roanoke.